You know, I love the things that she suggested afterwards, because the truth is, out of any of them, I just don't think that we can get through anything, you know, that this resilience that we have, we got to have a power in us that we believe is more than us. You know, I just don't think people can do it if they don't believe that there's something more. You know, that we have this incredible light, or you call it the sparkly thing, you know, whatever that is inside of us, that we believe in it so much, you know, that it walks with us, that it talks for us, that it is us. And when we believe that we're one with that power, we can get through anything. And I truly, truly believe that's the difference between what makes the same circumstances in different, you know, lives, when one person can bounce back and be resilient and the other one just crumbles and falls apart, you know, and lets everything just, you know, they collapse into it. You know, I've seen a lot of people, and I've seen them both. And it's those that really have that, it's a spiritual maturity, I think. I think that's what it is. It's a way of walking in this world knowing that there's something so much bigger than us. You know, we all of us get old. We're all getting old, yeah, right? But not all of us get wise, right? There's a lot of old fools, I know that. There's a lot of old fools, you know? And the truth is, those of us who can bounce back are the ones who know that, who know that truth inside of us, that awesome divine inside. See? And to know that, you gotta go through the pain and come out through the heart. You gotta feel the heart. You know, align your head. You gotta know stuff, but you gotta align with your heart, and you gotta be in your heart to be able to get through this pain. Aligning the head and the heart. I've said it a million times here. But that's what spiritual maturity is really about. We need that. And it's about discovering the depth of who you are. Who are you really? You know, we're more than this human that we walk with. We're so much more. And when we go deep into our spirituality, way deep into ourselves, we find it. You know, we get to the deeper principles of what life is really about. And then we start to understand our connectedness. You know, yeah, we need each other. We're connected. We're one. We need each other. And we get to this understanding. And see, we can't do it until our roots are so deep in our spirituality. Our roots have to be so deep. There's I put a tree up there because I read a thing that talked about this big canopy on a tree, and the higher the tree goes, that's us, the deeper our roots have to go. So the higher we want to go spiritually, the deeper our roots have to go. See, if we want to go to the highest place in our life that you can count on, this close connection, we got to go deep. We got to go so deep into who you are. We got to know ourselves. We got to know our human self, our emotional self, our psychological self, and our spiritual self. We got to know who we are, align who we are. We got to become acquainted with it. And to go deep, let me tell you, is to go painful. So what I'm saying is we got to face the pain in our life. So many of us numb so that we don't face the pain, and then we live here. And we don't feel the joy of life because we don't know who we are. Someone said if we want our tree to reach heaven, we got to put our roots in hell. Is that true? Our roots in hell. I know mine have been in hell a lot. You know, and it happens sometimes daily, right? I mean, that's what it is. Hell's here, heaven's here. You know, we decide heaven and hell. It's not just out there. It's here. And we decide. We decide. But when we go deep, see, we face that hell. But we come through it. I love, here's what Churchill said. He says, if you're going through hell, keep going. Okay? Keep going. Now that is like awesome spiritual advice. Awesome. Think about this. You're in hell. You know, your life just sucks sometimes. You know, and you're feeling it. But you got to keep going, and you get through it. And that's where you find the light. That's where you find the sparkly stuff. That's where you find God, is through it. Everything clears, and there's God. We go through hell, but we finally have found the pain that we can dissolve. We quit holding on. You know, there comes a time, okay, when I say that you got to go through hell, you got to go through it. You got to feel it. That's one thing I've always said. Just got to feel your pain. You know, you can't just get to the other side without going through and feeling the pain. That's so important for everybody. So hear that. You got to cry. You got to feel it. You got to, you know, express it. But then you got to get out of it. There's got to come a time when you move through, right? You keep going, like Churchill said. You keep going. Because so many of us become the victim to our hell. You know, we make a drama and we become comfortable in our dramas. We become comfortable. It's just easier because our egos love it. You know, our egos love it. What would we do without a problem? But many of us become defined by who hurt us, by the difficulties in our life. So yeah, we have to feel the pain, but then there comes a time when we have to move out of the pain and move on. And then when it's easier to stay. And that's what spiritual maturity is. See, it's going through the hell so that we can get out and feel the heaven and know that it's there. And to do that, boy, I'll tell you, to do that takes forgiveness for a lot of us. It's about forgiveness of other people. That's huge. You know, we talk about resilience. You cannot be resilient if you're not a forgiving person at all. Forgiveness is huge. And then you live with gratitude for every single breath you have. Every single breath you have is thank you, God, I'm alive today. You know, I mean, life goes so quickly. You know, I was listening to the news and John Benet Ramsey would be 23 years old. Isn't that weird to, you know? It's like, wow. I mean, that tells me, I was going, man, time goes so quickly that, you know, are we just growing old or are we growing wise too? So that's going to be this call today is to, you know, grow wise, you know, find yourself, go deep, go deep. There's two ways to live, unconsciously and consciously. There might be more, but that's what I'm going to talk about, okay? Consciously, you know, when you're unconscious, you're just asleep. You know, you go through life numb. You go through life not feeling anything, you know, and I'll tell you, all of us numb, you know, whether yours was alcohol, everybody numbs some way. TV, there's, you know, we're just numbers because we don't want to feel the pain. So we do numb, you know, and that's just what we do. We miss our life. We miss our life. We don't live deeply. We live on the surface of life. We don't go down and feel the pain and the joy because we numb. It's just easier to go have a drink, you know, than to really think about the day and to go inside and find your God. I love that. Go in, God, find your God inside. So consciousness then brings this awareness to us that allows us to live deeper. We go deep into our life. We go deep and we live in God. We live, I think, who was it? Who said live and have our being in God? Was that Butterworth? Butterworth said, we live, we move, and we have our being in God. That means you are so filled with God energy that you move that way. I love that. And that's what spiritual maturity is about. It's like when you're conscious, you're looking at your life fresh every moment. You're seeing it. You know, with your innocence. You're not bringing your baggage with you to every single experience that you have. You know, you're not seeing, when someone walks in, you're not going, oh, he did this and this and this. You're seeing him first, for the first time. For the first time. That's what consciousness is about. It's about awakening to who you really are. You know, and once we know it, we had a class in Eckhart Tolle on Friday, and one of the things that he said was, once we know it, once we're so centered in this, that we are charged with spiritual energy, and the next thing we do will be charged after that. I love that. So our outer purpose is charged with our inner purpose of spiritual awareness. You know, to me that's really big. So whatever we will be doing then is our outer purpose. So just sitting here right now, Debbie, this is your purpose. It was to sing a minute ago. That's your outer purpose. Your outer purpose now is to listen. You know, it's huge. This is really big. Your inner purpose is to know who you are. Is to know who you are. Everybody here has the same inner purpose. It's to align yourself with who you really are and to know that, you know. Everyone becomes old, but all of us don't become aware. And that's what the call is. We have to experience awareness, experience maturity. And we do it by stepping back and becoming aware of what we're feeling, how our body feels. We get into our body. We know where we are. We feel ourselves. We become present. We become living in this now moment. It's realizing that we are powerful creators. We are. We create our lives. And it's being able to take the circumstances of life and bring that spiritual energy to it. You know, we got to dig deep, boy. You know, it's about knowing God, the God in you. Not being content with knowing about God, right? Because a lot of us know about God. I know a lot about a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of classes about what Eckhart Tolle says, what the Bible says, what Jesus did, what Buddha is. So it's not about that, although it's interesting and I love it and it gets me excited, but it's experiencing God. It's experiencing God. It's knowing. See, I love the idea that beliefs are just beliefs. The path to resilience and spiritual maturity is to know God for you and to experience it, not know about God. Not being content with knowing about God. That's the belief stuff. Here's what she says, which just believes in the words you say about God, or that someone else might say about God. See, you don't just believe in that. It's like when you talk about believing, do you believe in God? What's common ground believe in? Do they believe in God? You know, people ask us that all the time. And you know, to me, that's like saying, you know, do you believe you have an arm? You know, it's like, it's not about belief, you know, it's about experiencing. What? You know, belief is just the head. But when you experience yourself, you experience God within you. And that's what it's about. That's what a resilient spirit's about. So I know that the resilient spirit is alive in this room. Almost everybody I look at has a resilient spirit. My God, you've been through so much and you come out this incredible being. So I feel honored to even, you know, talk to you. But I feel God like when I see you. You know, honestly, that's the truth. You can have an energy when you have been through so much, and you can have a vibration of this loving energy. That's God in you. That's God in you. See, you become spiritually mature and resilient. So my prayer is that our roots go so deep, each and every one of us, that we can experience the heights of the God within us. Thank you.